So people, here's the thing. Step one, determine your client's personality type. Most people perceive the world in three main ways: what they see, what they hear, and what they feel. Now obviously there's two other senses, which is smell and taste, but we don't tend to use those for decision making. Unless it's, you know, what's funny?
Just the image of that, just the idea.
Licking the cars.
Yeah, licking the car. No, I mean, if
Or
it
having
was,
a client lick a, POS. Just,
right, if it was food,
It's an acid in them.
exactly, if it was food, or maybe a person, right? Like, especially women have an advanced sense of smell, so they'll often say, oh, I love his cologne, or I stole his t-shirt that smells like it. But most things is what they see, what they hear, and how they
Does
feel.
that happen to you a lot, Mike?
I don't wear cologne.
The t-shirt thing. The t-shirt thing.
The t-shirt thing, no, it does not have. What they see, what they hear, and how they feel. So how do you know what modality you go into? Well, I'm going to give you a little demonstration, and then we're going to bring a couple of people up, and I'm going to have you sort of analyze that. So here's a visual person for you. Here's your notes for review. But I'll just demonstrate a visual person. Ready? Okay. Visual people talk fast, and they tend to move around a lot. And if you see them in person, their eyes are wide open, and they say things like, oh my God, Jennifer, I'm so happy to see you. Let's sit down and take a look at the paperwork. And what do you have to show me? And they'll say, and they'll say things like, I can just picture this. It's going to be amazing. Or no, you don't have to explain all this to me. Can I look at a graph? Do you have a website? Paint a picture for me. Right? Who's a visual person? Who can think of a visual person you all know? Right. Now, auditory people, they tend to talk at a more medium pace. And they'll say things like, hey man, this is great. I'd love to talk with you about this. And I don't need to look at this paperwork. Just tell me what it says. Maybe you can explain it to me. Maybe you can explain it to me one more time. And they'll love to talk. These people will actually do half the business on the phone with you as they're driving to the appointment because they love having conversations. Right? They're talkers. Who can think of an auditory person in it? And if you see them in person, not only do they speak at a more medium pace and they use words like, that really resonates with me. Yeah, that clicks with me. That sounds good. Right? I hear you. But they also hold their body, not really backing up, not down, just about the middle. They talk at this more medium pace. Right? And then you have your kinesthetics. And they tend to talk slow and touch themselves a lot. Not like that. Come on. And they hug themselves and just listen, Eric, that's cool. Just let me sit with that for a minute. I just want to kind of try that on. See how it feels. And they drive visual people nuts, right? Because visual people are thinking, what?
We just want to snack them.
Like, hurry up, go! Right? Now, first off, what I want to mention is there is no better or worse. One mistake we make in American culture, especially, because we tend to see our heroes as people that are very dynamic and take charge. Things explode behind them. So often people have this prejudice; they think visual is better, right? Like visual people are stronger. No. Listen, there's a lot of incredibly powerful kinesthetic people. Warren Buffett, Gandhi,
Kinesthetic people generally like to beat the shit out of the visual people. It's a two-way
Well, the
street.
kinesthetic people will just be like, God, this person overwhelms me. I mean, can't they just slow down? Like what? They got something. Just calm down. Though weirdly enough, in relationships, that does tend to work because if you get a visual and a kinesthetic married, the visual person says he or she grounds me and calms me down, and the kinesthetic person says he or she excites me and gets me going. Right? I actually had a seminar, I had about 500 people there, and right in the back row, it's so funny, I'm in the middle of explaining this, and this lady jumps up, points at her husband, and she goes, that's it! That's it! That's why you drive me so crazy! Guess who was visual in that relationship? Right? And I asked her, I said, well, ma'am, thank you for, your input. Why do you say this? She goes, look, we were just out trying to buy a house, and this guy can't decide. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, a realtor put us in the car. And it had big windows, you know, with a fan, so you can see it. And we pulled up the curb, and I was like, that's the house. I could see, that's what we wanted. And my husband's like, well, hon, you know, let's go in and sit down and just, you know, get what's the atmosphere like, and, you know, does it feel like a warm thing? And she's like, look, we said what we wanted, that is it, go. Right? Because she's just going off what she sees. She had a picture in her mind of what she wanted. He, though, wanted to make sure he what in the house?
Said it.
Felt good in it. Felt good. What's it going to be like? The atmosphere to live in the house. Totally different modalities. So it's a great relationship, though it's challenging when it comes to decision making. Because you'll decide things for different reasons. Does that make sense?
So is it hopeless if you have two visual people?
No. Actually, everything works. You're going to learn this, but it needs to be dealt with differently. Nothing wrong with having two visual people at all. Right?